black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
But the one thing I will give them credit for, I'll give FBA and ADOS credit for one thing. They seem, even though they're ignorant, they're more united than we are in their ignorance, which is sad. They got a fucking army behind them. We can't even get people to sign up to a website. And I know that's not easy to hear, but it's the truth, man. Everybody wants to be some Han Solo shit. Why not be around people who feel and think the same way that you do? Be around people of like mind. Why is that so difficult to do? I had an argument, well, not an argument, because I'm friendly with the person, but they're telling me, oh, I can't sign up. I don't have time to sign up to the website because blah 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 blah. I said, oh, well, that's interesting because I see you posting on Facebook rather frequently. You got time for that though?
Excuse me, Hala, but I think I can provide some perspective to that. As someone who follows the BIAO, who the BAIO has influenced a lot. Without you guys, I would have never known about Liberia. Now I want to move there and become a citizen one day. But the reason why I haven't signed up to the BIAO personally is because even though we share a lot of things in common, there are also some things that we don't share in common. And the things that we don't share in common are things that could, I guess, cause a disconnect and cause tension, you know? Like if we you see this with a lot of different groups, you see this with a lot of different people. For example, I use the Muslims for example. Shia and Sunni Muslims agree on 99% of the things. They're Muslims, but they still fight over the 1% of things that they don't agree with. A lot of people who don't join a BIAO or sign up to the website agree with probably 99% of the things about the BIO and the values that the BIO holds, the mission, and everything else about it. But it's the 1% of things that they probably don't agree with, which probably, I guess, I guess swayed them not to join because that 1% that they don't agree on could cause tension, if that makes.
Well, let me counter that. Are you signed up to Twitter?
I am signed up on Twitter.
Do you agree with 100% of the things that you see on Twitter?
I do not.
So then why are you signing up to Twitter and not sign up to the BAIO website?
Dang. Holla be asking the right, Holla be asking tough questions.
It's the same, and it's. I'm not trying to be nasty or anything, but it's the truth. The guy who tell me, "Oh, I ain't got time for be with another club," but you on Facebook.
And here's the thing: all we're saying is, hold on.
Let me just say this because this is important. There's nothing that you ever gonna. If I have somebody that I agree with 99% of what they're saying, and I don't join them because there's the 1% that is fucking stupid. Let's call it for what it is. There's never going to be a movement in America. Americans can agree that if somebody comes and they want to attack of America, everybody will unite against that outside threat. It doesn't matter if you're a right winger or you're a liberal or whatever. If anything comes from the outside to try to threaten the country, everybody's going to unite against that threat. So why is it that when it comes to nationhood, everybody got to walk on water in order for us to organize and be amongst each other?
I think because
it doesn't make any sense.
I think because that 1% could potentially cause, I want to say, infighting. Like I know it's stupid. I agree with you that it's stupid, but I go back to using my Muslim example. In the Middle East, you have Muslims fighting other Muslims all the time over a 1% difference in belief.
Can we agree that those people are stupid?
But see,
Can we agree? Are we going to use the Muslims as an example of like they're stupid?
No, Holla. I don't think that's an analogy. I don't think even the Shia Sunni Muslim is the right way to say it because Sunnis and Shias do have big differences. It's not like they're similar. They are very different. An appropriate analysis of your argument, Flames, would be like this. we're all Sunni Muslims, but we're different branches of Sunni Muslim. So I'm a Maliki. I worship the Maliki branch of Sunni Islam, where somebody might worship another branch of Sunni Islam. That would be a more appropriate analysis than the Sunni Shia Muslim comparison. Because to put your perspective, the Sunni Shia would be the equivalent of Halef and I's position of going back to Africa versus Black nationalists and separatists who believe that we should take 5 southern states. That would
Right,
be the Sunni Shia equivalent. Because
right,
we're
right.
both Black nationalists, we agree that Black people should have our own, but we have a big difference in that we do not believe that the nation is going to be established within these 5 southern states. So we're going to have that clash because it's so different. Because you believe that we should stay here and fight. We believe that we should go to the African continent where we're the majority, where we're safe to build. So that would be the appropriate analysis. In that situation, there's going to be conflict because yeah, we agree we need a nation, but that big difference on where it should be, that's going to be a deal breaker because that is a huge fundamental difference. It's not like okay, we all believe in going to the continent, but you believe that we should establish it in Liberia, and the other one believes it establish it in Sierra Leone. Because okay, Liberia and Sierra Leone, okay, they're both founded by African Americans. They're right next to each other. If we start in Sierra Leone and then we move to Liberia, or we start in Liberia and move to Sierra Leone, it's not a deal breaker. It's like, okay, we're right next to each other. It's not really going to do a lot. It's not that huge of a difference. So that would be the more appropriate analysis. So
And also, I want to know what is the 1% that is the that would keep somebody from being amongst us. I'm very interested to know what that is.
because
Well,
it's not like
I'm sorry. I'll
oh
let you
no,
finish.
no. The only thing I would say is because we're not asking you to agree. We're just saying if you agree with our premise that we should have a nation state, that we should work with Liberia, that's it. You don't have to be the person who says you got to be a socialist, you got to be a communist, you got to be a Maoist, you got to be a anarcho-communist. We're not asking you for those different schools of thought. All we're saying is, do you believe Black Americans constitute a nation? Do you believe that we should have the right to return to the? If yes, that's it. That's
That's
it.
all. So I don't understand if it's something that is that I don't understand why a person would not want to align themselves with somebody who agrees with 99% of what they're about. It doesn't make any sense because there's no in order for that to make sense, you got to show me where that's happening, where 100% of what do you call it consensus occurs. Where is that? What planet did that occur on where there's 100% consensus? Like I said,
Listen, yeah, there's
Twitter doesn't have 100% consensus, but yet people are on Twitter. Facebook doesn't have 100% consensus, but people are on Facebook. They're on all of these social media platforms that's run by white people. But then when we have a platform that's run by Black people, now all of a sudden nobody like it's all of this apprehension about signing up, where everybody will sign
and
up to these things with
and
absolutely no problem.
and here's
It
the
makes
thing.
no
This
sense.
and let's apply it historically because people love talking about historically. The civil rights movement didn't have everybody agreeing with it. The Garvey movement didn't have everybody agreeing with it. Like if you study these movements, there were huge disagreements within the organization on what should be done. But guess what? That's normal because guess what? We're human. We're not robots. So of
Weren't
course,
we just, yo, Jabari, weren't we just having a real heated conversation about the Liberian flag?
yep. Mm-hmm.
We don't
Mm-hmm.
all agree. We don't all, there's plenty of topics where we do not agree with each other on, but that doesn't stop us from being amongst each other and being brothers and sisters. I just call Negro stalling tactic. That's what I'm calling.
I mean,
Because
because
that's what
like
I
listen,
see. There's no reason for nobody to not, if you're a nationalist and you believe, especially if you believe that Liberia is the place that we need to do it, there's absolutely no reason not to be down with the people that believe the same thing. And the only
I
thing that I can think of that would be some, like I tell people all the time, and Underrated pointed this out. When you're not in power, you tend to be a liberal. When you're in power, you tend to be a conservative because you actually have something to conserve. So people that are classified as leftist or liberal in America, this Black nationalists, would probably be, I won't even say probably, they will definitely be conservative when they have their own nation.
because I would actually say what happens is that the definition of what's conservative changes. It's like a
Right.
socialist. When you're a socialist in power, okay, now that we built the socialist movement, of course we become the status quo. So now we're going to
Exactly.
conserve the socialist system that we preserve. So the meaning of
Exactly.
conservative shifts.
Right.
I want to point out one difference between signing up to the BAIO social media site, which I'm probably gonna do. I think I have done before in the past. I'll probably have to look through one of my old emails to find that. But I'd probably say the main difference is that the BAIO is a smaller community, right, compared to Twitter. So let's say you have one person with an opposing opinion in a room full of 100 people, and you have one person with an opposing opinion in a room with 1 million people. If the person with the opposing opinion in a room of 100 people piss all 100 people off, then he just pissed off everyone. But if that person with an opposing opinion in a room of 1 million people still pisses off 100 people, where there's still 999,000 other people who are indifferent or may even agree with that opinion.
Can I raise another point?
Go ahead.
I'll use this. Which is a better bank right now? Right now, 2022, what is this? August, whatever date this is. Chase Bank or One United Bank? Objectively, Chase is a better bank, right? Doesn't Chase have more money? Chase have more accounts?
Yes,
I mean, am
yes
I
to all
right
of
or am I
those.
wrong?
Chase is a no,
Would
no.
you say that Chase is a better bank than One United Bank?
You
Objectively.
100% right. Chase is a better bank
Okay. So then why would I sign the One United Bank? What for?
to support black businesses. If you're a nationalist, isn't that the Black Bank, United Bank?
Yeah.
Well, the only reason you will sign up to One United Bank is if you are a nationalist on some level. That's the only reason. But the white banks are definitely better, objective, in my
Right.
opinion.
So how do we ever get our banks to be better if we don't support them?
You can't if black owned banks do not receive any support, then eventually all of them will close down in a few generations, and our only
Thank you.
banks will be white banks.
Thank you. So let's bring that back over to the BAIO website. How does it ever get better? How do things ever, is there ever going to be a point where we support the infrastructure of what we feel is a positive thing so that we can move forward? Or are we going to wait for a 100% consensus in order to move forward? Because I'm asking, where is that? Where is it? Where's this 100% consensus where everybody is lock, stop, and barrel on the same concept? They think the same. No variance of opinion. Everything is this. The only thing that we do, we've narrowed it down. It's just like math. What's the lowest common denominator? We've narrowed it down to land, infrastructure, nationhood, and we focus on Liberia. That's the only requirements that we ask for you to be a part of the BAIO. We're not asking whether you conservative. We're not asking what your sexual orientation is. We're not asking for any of that stuff. How do you feel about black people having their own nation, controlling their own infrastructure? And if we can't agree and get consensus on that, then why are we even wasting our time with this black stuff? Why don't we just, instead of trying to support One United Bank, then we should be supporting our people to just put accounts in Chase and become American.
One thing about this about why people who support the BIAO will be hesitant to join the BIAO is because even though the BIAO may not be like, but a lot of organizations, a lot of a lot of black nationalist organization are very authoritarian, and like if you don't agree with some of these organizations 100%, then it's like fuck you, get the fuck away from us, get out of our organization. I'm not saying the BAO is like that, but that's probably experiences that people had from joining other organizations. It's very other pro-black organizations can be very authoritarian. I say even the FBA ADOS is like that. Like I support reparations to an extent. I support the ADOS and FBA crowd, not on everything, but like if I don't even agree with them 100%, even if it's a small thing, they're all gonna be like, "Fuck you, you Caribbean African immigrant. You're not ADOS anymore," and they'll start doing no true Scotsman's arguments.
I wanted to say something in regards to the difference between Twitter and YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and BAIO. They're all platforms. So for me not to join, like Jabari's on TikTok, right? And let's say I don't agree with Jabari ideologically. why would I not join TikTok? I don't agree with Deontay ideologically on Twitter, so I'm not going to join Twitter. Does that make any sense? That's the thing. It's like we have a platform that could be supported. We have a platform where we're not restricting people opinions and points of views. All we ask is that, are you down with land, infrastructure, and nationhood? Do you think we should focus on Liberia as our nation state? If you agree on those things, then come on in, join. What's the problem? And if you have a different point of view, like some of us are more conservative, some of us are more liberal, socialist, capitalist, all this other stuff. To me, that's not a deal breaker for me. Because we live in a country right now where you got all of these wildly varying points of views, but yet this country is still stable. People still live here. People still buy property. People still have a life. There's no 100% consensus in America. So why does there have to be 100% consensus to get people to sign up to a website? That makes no sense to me, and I will never understand it. I hope somebody eventually is able to make it make sense to me, but right now it makes no sense whatsoever. The only thing that I can say is that there's deeper issues going on.
Yeah.
There's deeper issues going on, because if you want an excuse, you will find one.
You can't compare to the status right here. Legendary worldwide, we can battle right here. Listen, Junior, I'ma tear back your wig. This ain't TV, but I'll show you what a fear factor is. Stop grilling me, and all that fronting is killing me. You leave me no choice but to hurt your feelings, G.
About to slap rappers around and bruise